But of course, Shuli, I'm going to ask you about a guy that you never ever get asked about ever. And I know you were so excited to come on because you were like, "What's he going to ask me about? This could be really exciting." No, not Howard Stern.
That's what I was waiting for.
But I got to ask you about Stuttering John. Because
Yeah.
now I know you've talked about him all the time, and I'm sure you hate him as much as the rest of them. But at the time of recording this, maybe almost literally 24 hours ago, he has been caught out violating once again YouTube's term of service, where he put a false copyright strike against the YouTube channel B Dabbler, which of course is hosted by El Horriblé and Tookie because they're different people. Everybody knows that. So basically what I'm saying is, and you went through something quite similar quite recently, Shuli. So from your perspective, when you heard this news by this F&C, excuse me, what was your reaction to the news of SJ being F&C?
It doesn't surprise me. It's interesting that it worked the way he did it, and him filing that claim for a video that he doesn't own. So that's interesting. And the fact that the video was kind of put out, it was put out first on Facebook, so it was made public right out the gate. So for it to stick is quite fascinating. But what's even more fascinating is John has carved out a little spot for himself where people want to fuck with him and they want to get involved. And then when it comes down to having to give your personal information to take it to the next step, everybody backs off because, a lot of the people he's fighting with are disguised and don't use their real names. And, so that's kind of the kryptonite that everybody runs into, it seems like, with John, where it's like, okay, now he's disputing the claim, but now I have to give personal information that he's now going to have. And, I don't mean to label somebody or say that this is how they always are, but he's not much of the vault type of guy where he keeps stuff on the DL. Whatever you tell him is basically going to be public knowledge at some point. So it's interesting that it's gotten to this point, but we're going to need a Jackie Robinson type who's going to be the leader and say, I don't care that he has my personal info. I'm going after him. And that's what it's going to take, unfortunately.
He can't keep stuff on the DL because I think he suffers from the DS. But the other thing that I find really strange about that tape, which I wasn't whacking off to in case anyone's trying to use footage against me, is the fact that his daughters, that's right, there's two of them, were kind of trashing him in that video and taking shots at him and about how their mother is happy now, married to, I'm going to say it, quad father. Stuttering John's ex-wife is now married to an African-American man. So let's just calm down. Yeah.
Oh, the travesty.
Say goodbye to Lemmi. She's going to be signing off Lord, at this point. Yeah. She does not want any of this.
Yeah. But his daughters were trashing him. His wife looked pretty good and happy with this new guy. So everything he claimed and been saying, I'm very close to my family. It's like, I don't think so. And also, I probably would have banged the daughter.
Well, that aside, because really, who wouldn't you bang? That aside, the fact that he is his own worst enemy so many of the times because I don't know how many of the mainstream Dabbleverse knew of this video. You have to be pretty deep in the weeds to know about this video. We've known this video existed for months. I've never played it. It was something that I don't know, maybe because I'm a dad, I feel weird about like actually putting his kids on the screen, considering I have no beef with his kids. I have no issue with them. They're not, they've never fucked with me. But it's interesting that that this approach where he goes off and makes all this stuff public, he draws 10 times more attention to this thing than it would have received had he not reacted that way. And he keeps doing that over and over again with shit.
What was your take, though, especially when you've seen the fact that he is, again, lying on YouTube about copyright? Do you think that that's simply so that he can get details on people, or do you think he's genuinely upset?
Oh no, he's pissed. He's pissed, and I don't know. You know, look. First of all, you have to understand, he's not going out on his own and doing any of these things. He has a person or people that he talks to that give him advice, that he goes forward with whatever it is he's doing. Look, I don't know if he would know the truth if it came out of his mouth at this point. Almost everything he says is a lie. So, you know, the fact that he's lying about owning the copy, it doesn't surprise me. When is he not lying? You know, this guy on his show bragged about having pictures of my kids on his hard drive ready to dox him, which, you know, say what you want about his kids. They're not kids anymore. They're adults, you know, they can go fight in a war. I believe
they're men now.
That's right. So
allegedly.
So I got a 13-year-old and a 9-year-old, you know, like, you shouldn't be bragging that you have pictures of 13-year-old, 9-year-old girls on your hard drive. It's not a good look.
Yeah.
Trust
Anthony
me.
Cumia.
Yeah.
Oh, everyone doesn't do that?
No.
Oh,
yeah.
shit.
Quadfather came up to me once, showed me a picture of this kid in the tub, and he's like, "That's what it's all about." I go, "Is this your daughter?" He goes, "No, somebody sent me this on the dark web." So he's got issues, is my point. Thank you.
You know, I've actually got a dox Quadfather. He told me a story off mic that I'm going to say it anyway. He said that he got beat up by his girlfriend's dad because he heard she was off in the house this day. So he took sick off work, went round and was having sex with her. The dad came home and found him, and he said, and the dad yelled, "What are you guys doing? She's 3."
Wow. Wow. And
nice one, Derek.
And the worst part, no ramp at the house. So his exit took a long time. It was very awkward.
But one thing I've got to say ask as well, Shuli, is that with like the Uncle Rico show and the fact that Stuttering John's getting false flag happy, and I said flag, is that does that make you worry about your show? Because he's done it before and didn't get away with it, but an intelligent person would learn from that. We're talking about a guy who once came on the air having had half of a shave. Do you think that's in a way, there's a chance that he may come for your channel once again?
No, I think he's learned his lesson after the last attempted stream snipe. We had help from a gentleman by the name of Kevin Seconds from legendary band 7 Seconds, and he gave us a song and video of his to play on the channel when and if John would try and snipe us, and we did it twice. And it's funny because he goes, "Doesn't matter if I don't have the sound on, they can't hit me with a strike." It's like, no, there's video and audio strikes. So since then, he's not even tried once to snipe us when we're live. He can learn. He just has to be hit with a rolled up newspaper to learn those lessons sometimes. That's all.
Do you think that's why he has no furniture in his new house? Because he's not allowed on the couch?
No, that's not true. He's got a whatchamacallit, the ottoman. He's got an ottoman made out of empties and Slim Fast canisters that's now piled up nicely in the corner.
An Ottoman?
Yeah, Ottoman.
I thought we weren't talking about the kids.
I was waiting for a Transformers joke.
I would also say if things had been reversed, one of them could play the new Wolverine because they would have been an X-Man. But you know, Lemmi, you're a notorious doxer. You're probably downloading some files as we speak. When you see this stuff going on behind the scenes with no bottoms on, what do you think about the antics of Stuttering John?
I don't know. I'm a little curious about Stuttering John. I don't know if you bring up a good point about him maybe trying to gain information by copyright striking people. That's interesting. I'm just not sure if he's smart enough to like gather that.
He's not. You are correct in that assessment. He is not, but whoever is helping him, and there ain't many left, so whoever is helping him probably said to him, hey, if you file this strike, you're going to have to get he's going to have to give you his real information if he wants to fight it. So, but I can say from experience, early on, John hit us with a strike, and I believe we were off I think it was our second one. So I think we were off for 30 days. And we just went Patreon, right? We just said we'll only do Patreon shows. And that's when our Patreon numbers were the highest it's ever been. My point is, every time he's tried to fuck us over, all he's done is help us. When he sniped us, we made so much money in super chats because people wanted him to see the messages, talking shit about him that he wouldn't post on his own. So it always fails with him. It's crazy. It just does.
The only benefit to that video of El Horrible being taken down is that a certain guy on there, a really intelligent guy, can now repeat comments that he made in it and not sound like a hack, just with the same rehashed lines.
Right. They go, man, this guy's on fire today. They go, wow.
Which reminds me, Shuli, I've thought of an idea for a film. Would you like to hear it?
Love it. Let's go.
It's called 1, 2, Tranny. Just made it up.
Yeah, elevator pitch me. Let's go. We got 5 floors. Hit me.
It's about a failure who fails, and that's the way it goes.
Love it. This is my floor. I'll be in touch. My people will call you people. Thank you.
Quadfather, sorry about the foul language being used there, and you look so pissed off. The actual real life Grinch is right there in the bottom right. Your show is always showing clips of stuff, and you've had a couple of YouTube issues. But when you see Stuttering John doing shit like this, does it make you a little wary of it? And what's your take on the flagging of videos?
Yeah, I mean, this one's going to backfire on Stuttering John, from what I understand, right? That everyone's been saying that. So that if you file a false one, then it comes back on you and you end up getting a strike, if I'm correct. So his entire endeavor is going to backfire on him, I believe, which is like 4D chess. Shuli, keep it up, man. Just keep showing those videos every time he tries to stream snipe you. That's great.
Well,
I hope it takes him down.
We have a plan B. We have somebody that's ready to give. Yeah,
you're going to end the pregnancy. Plan B.
We're going to get morning after pill exclusively on the Shuli Network. We have a plan in place where there is somebody that is not afraid of giving their personal information. And so if and when that day comes where he tries it again, it's going to end very badly for him. It just is. And it couldn't happen to a nicer person.
He's a very interesting guy, and I love hearing about his hemorrhoids and shitting beds and herpes and all of the interesting things he talks about on his show.
That's the other thing. People are like, well, if he goes, then you guys have no. So here's a guy. When we got our false copyright community guideline strike from YouTube for animal cruelty, we were suspended for 2 weeks.
Yeah, you guys were being really rude to Bob that time. I remember that.
That's right.
You deserve that strike.
Yeah, absolutely. And and he shows up on his show with a party hat and the stream, and he starts celebrating, laughing that we're off the air, right? So then we do our little plan, and he fucked up, and he goes on Joey C that night, and he goes, I'll leave. If they strike me, I'll leave. Where's the celebration? Where's the cockiness? Where's the smug asshole that was so happy? We were back in a week. YouTube apologized. And now all of a sudden the shoe's on the other foot. And this idiot's like sitting here going, I'll take my ball and go home. I got news for you. He was gone for 8 months. All we did was grow. All the show. It's about who's watching this guy and what they have to say about it. It really isn't. He's not doing anything different. He's extremely entertaining. He's endlessly fascinating. And it's all about who's watching that makes it interesting. It ain't him, because otherwise he'd be making money.
Does part of you, in a way, hope, wish to think like, oh God, I wish he would just fuck off? Or is it really just, no, I want him to stay around so that I can keep cashing in on him while he sits around picking his own shit? No offense, Lemmi.
as a family guy, like I'm like, yeah, just fucking leave all this shit, man. Go fucking be a better person, be involved with your kids. And you're not good at this. It's not helping you. It's only making things worse for you. You constantly pull your family into this. They want nothing to do with it. Like, that part of me is like, yeah, get the fuck out of here. The other part of me is like, fuck you, because I never did nothing to this guy. And he went after me and tried to get me fired for no reason other than I was working where he wasn't working anymore. That's it. We've had zero interaction for his attempts to fuck my life over to be warranted. It just wasn't. So this is a story. Everybody who's ever been bullied, this is punching the fucking bully back in the face for 2.5 years.
Where were you working at the time, and what's that boss really like behind the scenes?
And we're not doing this again.
Okay.
We're not.